A midnight Facebook live announcement on Saturday, June 14th, 2025, exactly 1 year after the swearing in of the 7th Parliament of South Africa. Liam Jacobs, then 24, hailing from the Northern Cape, who was regarded as one of the country's most promising young political figures. The media proclaimed his defection from the Democratic Alliance was a symbolic moment in South African politics. How was this a symbolic moment, and why? The Patriotic Alliance had accused the DA of exploiting influential young colored leaders like Jacobs to curb the PA's rising popularity, especially in the Western Cape. How so? And why is this about skin color? Now, back to Liam Jacobs. Influential? How so? On social media? Folks, social media is not voting. Liam Jacobs is only influential because he is being pimped by the media, the DA, and the PA, not based on accomplishments or potential. Now, this is an example of how elites control the political machine. They glom onto whatever they find useful, no matter whether they are talented or not. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is a case in point. It would be more difficult to find anyone dumber than her sitting in Congress. Yet she's there, because she's a media darling. Jacobs is no different. Not that he insults people, but he is a made-for-media, fabricated politician. So for his part, how serious was Liam Jacobs in June 2025 when he left for the Patriotic Alliance? Well, this is what Jacobs said. Representation matters. I looked into what the PA stands for, and I saw a family. I felt genuinely loved here, despite my past criticisms. When the president announced me, I felt a calm I've never known. A calm? How so? What were you given or promised then for the defection, and why, less than 12 months later, are you back in the DA? At the time, he said, I've been promised nothing, only the chance to be part of the fastest growing party in South Africa and to contribute meaningfully to the lives of young people. Why just young people? Don't you care about all South Africans? So how much progress have you made in that year? And why have you betrayed any suckers whom you convinced to join the Patriotic Alliance now that you've returned to the DA less than a year later? Last year, Patriotic Alliance leader Gabe McKenzie said the following. I've always told Liam he was a bright future in politics. Even when he was being used to attack us, I knew the day would come when he'd see the bigger picture. So what exactly are those qualifications of a 25-year-old who can't decide on which party he's part of? He was the leader of the Democratic Alliance Students Organization, DASO, from October 2022 until he defected to the PA in June of 2025, so not quite 3 years. A member of Parliament at a ridiculously early age for the Democratic Alliance of 24. Oh, and he was also with the African National Congress back in 2021. What is his listed profession? Politician. Nothing more. No life experience anywhere else. In September of 2025, he was due to replace the suspended Kenny Kunene as MMC for transport. However, Johannesburg Mayor Dada Marrero had reservations over his lack of experience. Rightly so. A rare smart move by Dada Marrero. Now, the Patriotic Alliance placed him on the Johannesburg City Council. Remember that in South Africa, you don't vote for who represents you. The party decides. So they placed him on the Joburg City Council while he was running for mayor of Pretoria. Patriotic leader Gabe McKenzie announced Jacobs will be resigning as Johannesburg councillor and ended his campaign in Tshwane as well. Now, this is not exactly someone who can commit. Frankly, it reminds me a lot of Tani Pat, Patricia DeLille, who takes her toys whenever she's unhappy and jumps ship to a new political party or a new posting. So back to the question about him being influential. How exactly is Liam Jacobs influential? Well, he became popular on Facebook with his videos of sporting facilities in South Africa that have gone to ruin because they've been neglected by the ANC. He has 517,000 followers on his Facebook page. That's impressive. A YouTube audience of just 1,280 subscribers. Not so impressive. Obviously, he doesn't put much effort into that. Another audience on TikTok that closely matches his Facebook page with 557,000 followers and 19,700 followers on X. Respectable on TikTok and on Facebook, but not so much on the other platforms. However, social media presence is not a qualification for political office. Likability is a factor, and perhaps that is one factor drawing attention to Mr. Jacobs. But race, sadly, remains a trump card in South African politics, and Liam is colored. This, combined with the social media following, are the cynical reasons the Democratic Alliance and the Patriotic Alliance elevated him to fame and high office long before he was suitable for it. Now, just a month ago, in April of 2026, he announced on X the following. My name is Liam Jacobs. Last night at Gayton, Mackenzie confirmed that I'll finally be returning to Parliament under the banner of the Patriotic Alliance. My focus will be to protect the public purse of the people of South Africa, to hold those who are the custodians of the public purse to account fearlessly, to change the lives of ordinary South Africans through visible, tangible, and palpable service delivery, and finally, to cement South Africa's place as one of the world's greatest nations. So what happened to going back to Parliament for the Patriotic Alliance just a month ago? And by the way, you won't have much influence in service delivery at the national level. That's a local activity. So what exactly is the Democratic Alliance hoping to gain from this? Well, let's see what the party leader Jordan Hill-Lewis has to say. We are not interested in the politics of chaos, personality cults, and empty promises. Liam Jacobs left the PA because he saw firsthand that the PA never delivers on promises. The PA never delivers. What has the DA delivered on? Well, I know, the DA gets things done. But what exactly? Clean audits? That's nice that they're not corrupt. But are they competent? In Cape Town, where they've controlled the council since Helen Zille formed a ruling coalition back in 2006 and outright since 2011, the invasion of the Tygerberg Raceway, the Cape Flats crime waves, piss-poor water management, poor urban planning, and crushing poverty argue against the DA claim that they get things done. By the way, what promises have the Patriotic Alliance not delivered on, DA? You see, folks, the Democratic Alliance simply cannot help itself. While it colludes and implements racist laws as part of the Government National Union, including the Basic Education Laws Amendment, BELA, National Health Insurance, NHI, and Expropriation Without Compensation, EWC, as well as the Employment Equity Act Amendment, it continues to gratuitously attack smaller parties when there's no need. Make no mistake about it. The DA is very good at making own goals. What it is not good at is playing well with others. Except that is, of course, for the African National Congress, who they seem to play very well with. After all, both parties are left of center in politics. There was no need for Jordan Hill-Lewis to say that PA never delivers on promises, as there was no need for the idiotic and factually false slander directed at Peter Hernevald over absconded parolees recently. Hill-Lewis said the following: people sometimes take a wrong road. What matters is whether they're willing to correct course and recommit themselves to the work of building a better South Africa. That's a sign of maturity and braveness. I think bravery is the word you want there. Liam has done that, and we welcome him back. Take the wrong road? No, Jordan Hill-Lewis, not even. The DA betrays its own to play race politics. Where are Emma Powell, Andrew Whitfield, talented politicians tossed aside as John Steenhuisen's sacrificial lambs after the DA sent them to Israel and to the United States, but then pretended that they went rogue? Where is one of your most talented leaders, Chris Pappas, leaving office and leaving the DA, at least publicly? Wrong road. Can the same argument not be made for Ronaldo Cruz? No, it could not, according to the DA. Because you arrogantly think your party has the white vote and needs the colored vote to save your ass after the carnage of John Steenhuisen's leadership. Make no mistake, whether Liam Jacobs has the talent or vision is not germane to either the DA or the PA. They are both focused on a more obvious factor: race. And that's sad, but that is the reality of South Africa. Race trumps all for political parties. They pretend it doesn't, but it does. How else do you explain the ANC's racist laws against the minority of the population? How else do you explain this tit-for-tat nonsense between the Patriotic Alliance, which is considered a colored party, and the DA, which is wrongly considered a white party? The DA actually has representation of all three major races in South Africa. The PA is overwhelmingly sponsored or supported by colored folks. And the DA is losing colored votes, particularly in the Western Cape. It needs to gain them back. So Liam Jacobs is welcome back in the party, not because he's talented, not because he has skills, not because he has vision, not because he's ever accomplished anything, but because he has a large social media following and he's colored. And he'll do what he's told. Sad but true. South African politics. Jordan Hill-Lewis. No bridges get burned, eh? That's not what the actions of the DA say over the past 2 years. What say you, South Africa, Mzansi? Cheers.